Shalom, shalom. Yes, the Israelites are back on the ground because we're out here to bring upliftment scriptures onto our nation, because our nation don't know anything but oppression. So we're out here to bring up upliftment scriptures onto our nation and to bring them back to the marriage. We're out here to show our nation that we can love one another. Right? Because all the other nations think, the so-called black man hates the next black man. No, we're examples onto our nation that we can love one another. We don't love one another, and that's the problem. If we love one another, we would be way better off. We wouldn't be murdering one another. We wouldn't be robbing one another. We wouldn't see each other as nothing. Our brothers and sisters are equal unto us. These other nations are not equal unto us. So we're out here to bring down the lies that we've been taught, and we're out here to bring up our people and our nation. But before I get into the scriptures, I'm going to give all praise unto the Most High. And I say, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Washai, Barakatah Hawa, Barakatah Washai, I Manuela, Shalom, Wam Yasharala, Wam Yasharala. And yes, the heathen are going to despise the smell, because this is a good smell. That's and right. They got bad incense with them. They got a bad spirit on them. That's why they can't stand the smell. But without further ado, give me my first scripture.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19.
Bring it on.
He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So the Lord has showed his word unto a certain people, unto a certain set of people. Stop thinking that it's just the whole world that got this word.
That's right.
The whole world didn't get this word, because God didn't choose the whole world. God chose one certain nation of people to do his will. Right? If the whole world got this word, the whole world should have gone on slave ships.
That's right.
The whole world should have been in oppression. There should not be one nation that is ruling and another that is under subjection. So this word is not for everybody. It's for the children of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Read on.
He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
So the Lord has not dealt with any nation but the Israelites.
That's right.
The Israelites are his first love. Jacob is his firstborn. From Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. That's how the lineage of Israel started. Not to every nation. Every nation cannot be included in our club.
That's right.
Our club is set apart because the Lord called us holy. Holy means set apart. It doesn't mean, you're going to sing a bunch of hymns about, I am holier than thou. It means you're set apart from all people. And we are the set apart nation. That's why we can do things the best. If these nations didn't have us, nothing would be here. England would be a place where all piss and poo would just be all over the street. And dog can run free and they can do as they please. Because dogs are even run free in the cemetery and pissing and pooing on people's graves. That's how lawless these people are.
That's right.
You man got
Isaiah 12, verse 6. Cry out and shout, thou
inhabitants of Zion,
for
great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee.
So we have the great, we have the Holy One, and we have the Great One, which is Yahweh, because he's in the midst of us.
That's
he
right.
dwells within us.
Right.
And Mashiach Yahushai's blood, who's this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his blood flows through our veins.
That's right.
Because we are his people. We are the offspring of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. The people in that land, calling themselves the Israeli, are not the people. They haven't gone through oppression. They haven't been through anything of the curses that are written in the Bible.
Right.
So how can they be the original people? They will have to say, remember our Holocaust, remember this, remember that. No one's going to remember that. in times coming in the future. We're going to rejoice over that.
That's right.
Rejoice over them stupid little funny holocausts. That has nothing to do with us.
Right.
And nothing to do with the Israelites. Their thing was a joke thing. And it was themselves putting themselves in oppression.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 1.
Don't.
Yet now hear, O Jacob my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Because the Lord has chosen Israel and he's chosen Jacob. And we are the Lord's servants.
That's right.
Right.
So the reason why we're out here is to teach our people, to teach them that there's a better way than slavery,
That's right.
to teach them that we have to come back to the laws, because the laws is how we get stability.
Right.
With laws, you can show people how to walk upright instead of them walking all the lewdness which we're doing today.
Preach it.
There's so much wickedness going on. This world is out of course.
Wake them up.
Why is it that you can change off? Why is it that it's okay to steal an ex-man's wife? Why is it that it's okay to do everything that's against the laws of God?
Right.
That's right.
That's madness.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 99 and verse 1.
You don't.
The Lord reigneth, let the people tremble.
So the Lord is reigning today.
Right.
The Lord is reigning throughout all. And the people are supposed to be trembling off of the Lord. We shouldn't be out here today because today is the Sabbath day. We shouldn't be out here shopping in the market, doing as we please. Because in Nehemiah's times, if you were caught shopping and doing your thing on the Sabbath, something bad's gonna happen to you.
That's right.
It's either death or you get beaten up in the marketplace.
That's right.
He sitteth between the cherubims, let the earth be moved. The Lord is great in Zion, and he is high above all the people.
So the Lord is great in Israel,
Right.
and he is high above all people. Because no one can compare unto our God. Allah just means power. And he doesn't even have any. Krishna don't have no power at all. All these idols don't have a power. But we, the Israelites, have a power. And we are not going to share our power with anyone else. Because he chose us and he loves us only. He
Right.
doesn't say he knows everybody. Get me Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
Let them praise thy great and terrible name.
So we have to praise his great and terrible name. Yahweh isn't just a man of love. Yahweh is a terrible man too. Because he's the one, if it's whether it be good or whether it be evil, it's the Lord that's done it.
Right.
Psalm Isaiah 45 verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
Because we, like it says in Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3, we have been dumb animals. We've gone away from the Most High.
Right.
But we are his servants, but don't know him. A lot of our people don't know that they're Israelites. They think they're Christians, they think they're Gentiles
Right.
that can get grafted in when they're the original people. Sister, in the bonnet. Sister, you know I'm talking to you. Did you know you're an Israelite? How do you know you're an Israelite? Can't tell me. So, yeah, get able.
Amos chapter 3 verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against thee, against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying.
So there's been no other nation that has been brought up out of the land of Egypt with such great plagues that happened upon Egypt.
Right.
No nation didn't go through the Red Sea. No nation didn't have a Passover in Egypt.
Right.
That's just how you know that there's a special people. Not everyone could be equal. So equality is just bull crap.
which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the nations, of all the families of the earth.
No, he's known everyone.
You only have
I known of all the families of the earth.
No, he's only known Esau.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
So the Lord only knows the Israelites of all the families of the earth. It doesn't matter. He only knows the Israelites.
Psalms 147 verse 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So just like we brought out before, that scripture had to get reloaded.
Right.
Because he showed his word unto Jacob and his laws, his statutes and his commandments unto Jacob.
That's right.
So no nation is going to take away our inheritance. They can try, but they're only going to crumble and fall.
That's right.
The king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou dost establish equity. Thou executest judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt ye the Lord our Yahweh, and worship at his footstool, for he is holy.
So what the black, Hispanic and Native American man and woman should be doing is worshipping the Lord.
That's right.
Right? A lot of our nation isn't worshipping the Lord. We're worshipping Santa Maria. We're worshipping even Caesar Borgia. We're worshipping a cross. We're worshipping a rock.
That's right.
So we need to worship Yahweh. And how you worship Yahweh is reading his words, rather than you hearing it from a man that has gone to a seminar school that has been set up by your oppressor to teach lies. Because that's all they're doing in the church. They're not teaching any truth. Because if they were teaching truth, our people would know that it's not lawful for a man to walk with the next man. Our people would know it's not lawful for a man to be having on a dress. Like now this is all things that are becoming the norm. And societal norms.
Bridge.
Why are these things becoming societal norms? To destroy the children of Israel.
Right.
Because psychological warfare is a thing, you know, and it's a great thing. That's how they defeated us in slavery. That's why if we could read, they used to kill us. Or they used to cut out our tongue. Or give us some horrible punishment.
Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that called upon his name. They called upon the Lord, and he answered them. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them.
So Moses and Aaron, this is when we're coming out of Egypt. The Lord Yahweh Shai spoke to us in the cloudy pillar, which meant he was that pillar that was leading us through so that we could get to the chosen land. He was that pillar that was keeping us safe in the wilderness.
Right.
And that's who we're supposed to reside in. We're not supposed to reside in any other person. That's why it says, vain is the man that puts his trust in the next man. Because what's that next man gonna do for you? Give you a job, give you stress, give you more oppression? Because that's all that's going on in this place. There's no prosperity. There's no love for one another.
That's right.
With the black man and the black woman are still hating on one another.
Right.
Because another so-called black woman has a better hairstyle than the next woman. She's hating on her for that. It's some little things that our people are hating on one another for.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. Chapter 24 and verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High Yahweh. Even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregation of Jacob.
So our heritage is the laws of God. That's where our heritage is.
Right.
It's not in the laws of man. The laws of man is wicked and corrupt. Why is it that I can only take out 80,000 out of my own bank account and that's safe, and the rest of that money is not safe, basically? So I could have 1.2 million and only 80,000 safe. That's wickedness. That's robbing the people blindly. Get a preset?
Jeremiah 8, verse 11. For they have healed the hurt of my daughter, of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace. Then there is no peace.
So they thought they healed us slightly by saying that now we're in peace. We have peace. But let us be in peace. Let us be as one. Let us all collaborate together. You can come to our universities. You can come and there's not going to be one designated bathroom for the blacks. We're all going to use one bathroom now. But there is no peace among here.
No.
It's all just an illusion.
Right.
Democracy is an illusion because when you're voting for someone, you're not even voting of your own people. And I bet you that so-called black woman that is running the Conservative Party right now, she's going to get voted out before the next election. I'm telling you. Because they're never going to have a so-called Israelite, not so-called Israelite. They're not going to have an Israelite running the country. Because they'll know how to run the country properly.
That's right.
And anyway, women shouldn't be running nothing because that's not their job.
Right.
That's right.
Thou answerest them, O Lord, our Yahweh. Thou was a God that forgavest them. Thou tookest vengeance of their inventions.
So the Lord was supposed to take vengeance on our inventions because we as a nation are very wicked.
Right.
We always say that we're going to follow the Most High. But then what did we say? We wanted to go back into Egypt.
Right.
When times got a little rough. And the Father gave us manna from heaven to eat.
Exalt the Lord our Yahweh and worship at his holy hill. For the Lord our Yahweh is holy.
So we have to worship in Zion. Well, we can't worship in Zion right now, but wherever we are, we have to worship the Most High.
Right.
And exalt his name. Because there's no one else is going to do it, and it's not anyone else's job to be worshipping the Most High. Because the Most High is our power.
Right.
And again, we are not sharing our power with the heathen. The heathen are the wicked. They're not supposed to have our good power and start talking, because it even says that the heathen aren't supposed to be picking up the Bible and reading.
That's right.
Because if they were picking up the Bible and reading, they wouldn't follow the laws. They wouldn't do the things that are written in the Bible.
They're not doing.
But we, as his people, we will do it because we love the Most High. We have a spirit for the Most High. But we just don't have it according to knowledge. Get me Romans 10 and verse 2.
Romans.
It's the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge.
So the Most High bears it to record that we have a spirit towards him, but we don't do it according to knowledge. We do it according to the Christian doctrine.
Right.
And the Christian doctrine is nothing but Constantine saying that he saw a cross in heaven, and that's how Christianity was founded. We are Christians, but we're not following after Christianity, because Christianity is white supremacy.
Right.
Right.
And Christianity was what made us go on the slave ships, because we're following after idols. doctrines of men.
Right.
Get me 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and start at verse 38.
First Maccabees.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 38.
Read out.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem, this is First Maccabees 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
So there was many of our wicked nation that said, you know what? Let us go and make an agreement with the heathen.
Right.
Let us go and make religion with these people that don't know God. They're lawless people. They polluted the temple, and they're just wicked in general.
That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
And this is how wicked our nation is. Because we wanted to run back into Egypt. They wanted to run back into They wanted to run back under the bondage and oppression that they were living in. Under the wicked and dirty and stinking Grecians.
Right.
Because the Greeks, they're not clean people. They're not people of morals. They're not people of God. They're people of the devil.
Right.
Because they have Alexander, what they call the Great. Alexander the Great was a wicked man. He killed millions. He was also a homosexual. And those things are not permitted in the law.
Right.
But guess what? Our people wanted to follow that disgusting man. Because what? Because of a little gift.
Right.
That he may have given them.
So this device pleased with them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
And that's how you get your Christianity. Because they say that God hates the sin, but he loves the sinner. They say all things that are they say that they read the Bible, that they understand the Bible, but they don't do things of the Bible.
Right.
They do things contrary to the Bible. They say that you can't judge. When there's a whole book in the Bible called Judges. When Yahushua even says that we can judge in righteousness. Not just say, oh, because you look nice, I'm going to judge you because of that. No, you have to know how to judge. But our people are indoctrinated in this religion, and these religions don't teach us anything. These religions just teach us love, 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 love. Why are we going to love, love, love a guy that killed millions of us? King Leopold killed millions of our people, short-handed us.
Right.
Fed our babies to alligators, killed our children in front of us, sent our children to Guantanamo Bay right now. That's what Trump is doing right now, and they haven't committed any crimes. And you know what happens in Guantanamo Bay. It's horrible in Guantanamo Bay. That's where they sent the 9/11 people to go. And these people haven't even committed acts like the 9/11 people, not even let alone crimes, and they're being sent to Guantanamo Bay to be tortured. And these are our Hispanic men and women.
Right.
No, there's nothing up here for you, because today is the Sabbath.
Listen.
There's no change for you up here. But our Hispanic brothers and sisters don't want to listen. They want to praise Santa Maria. they want to worship the cross. But no, that's not what we're supposed to do, because you are the 10 tribes that are lost as well.
Right.
Because there was a division in Israel. The southern kingdom consists of Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. And the northern kingdom consists of the other 10 tribes.
This is book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 29. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise, and stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove. Should I carry that? This is book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 29. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise.
So presents and gifts, which our people love to give gifts and they love to receive gifts. They blind the eyes of the wise. They blind the wise people
Right.
for what they're supposed to do. That's why the pastor loves it when Sister Joyce, Sister whatever her name is thrown in 100, 200, 300. Give me a whole month's worth of rent. The pastor's happy.
That's right.
And stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove.
Right.
So now the pastor, because he loves gifts so much, he won't reprove you. He'll tell you to continue on in sin. He'll tell you that, oh, we're all one and we should all love one another and everything's all love. When does it say we're supposed to love everyone? I'm pretty sure that we can, if we have a dead animal, we can give it on to the next nation. But we can't give it on to our own people. That's love.
Proverbs 3 verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
So we can't be out here envying the oppressor, saying, oh, that the oppressor's got a big car, a nice house. I want to be rocking like my oppressor, man. I want to be on the money. Nah, man, because money is corruption.
Right.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
I didn't say money was the root of
Teacher.
all evil. I said the love of it.
Right.
Because there's certain Jade that love money. They love money than they love their own children.
That's
They
right.
love money than they love their own wives. So that's what they call the workaholics.
Right.
The workaholics loves to work, and still they can work and not receive nothing. They're still back at square one. That's why there's a saying, work smarter, not harder. We've been working hard for centuries, and we're still at the bottom. Yeah, there might be one or maybe even two of us that have got riches in this world. But then they invest it into their own nation.
That's right.
No, they go and spend it on big mansions in LA, and that mansion gets burned down. And then they're outside crying, oh, my
That's right.
mansion,
Teacher.
oh, my big car. No, man. We can't put our trust in riches and in money, because those riches and that money, once you're gone, where's it gonna go? Back to the government and say,
Right.
oh, inheritance tax. We're gonna inheritance tax you, everything that you have, and nothing's left for your children.
Proverbs 3 verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
So we're supposed to be happy when we find this wisdom and get the understanding. Because when we get this wisdom and understanding, we're no longer under oppression. We're no longer a slave. Get me John chapter 8 and verse 32. We're no longer under the philosophy of men. Also get me Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
John chapter 8 verse 32.
Bring it out.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So we know the truth, And the truth is setting us free. Which is making us free. We're not no longer looking to a nation that put us in slavery to come and save us.
Right.
We're no longer looking for reparations and protesting. Because what has protesting for reparations done for us? Our foreparents were protesting for reparation and they're dead.
Right.
Or they get tear gas thrown on them and what, they go blind. Or some side effect happens to them when they're protesting out and then now they're crippled. So we need to stop saying, oh, we should march and protest, because marching and protesting gets us nowhere, and then
Right.
we just pack up and say, I call it quits. Exactly.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So we have to beware, because there's a lot of philosophy coming out here. Satanism, they're even pushing Satanism out here. And we know that Satan is the adversary of God.
Right.
Read it for me again.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So we can't be deceived, which means we can't be fooled, we can't be tricked, we can't be lied to. You're the joke man out here, bruv. You're a joke man. You're unemployed, probably claiming pension.
Throw a couple of inches with you.
Talking about unemployed. You man have been reaping the benefits for so long.
That's right.
We've been the one that have been slaves, and you're telling us to go get a job. You need a job. You need to be a slave. You need to be a servant, kissing my feet,
Right.
wiping my children's nappy, changing my children. That's what your job's gonna be. And then I'm gonna wipe you off like doormat.
That's right.
Is that finished? No, there's still a little bit more in there.
This is the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Bring it up.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after a Mashiach.
After the rudiments of this world. The rudiments of this world is your pop stars and your celebrities, so-called
Right.
celebrities. Look at all these pop stars and celebrities. I wanted to bring out a lesson on Sexy Red, because Sexy Red is a disgusting fop, because she is telling our children to go and pop front and shake up bum and all of this rubbish, and basically just be a whore, because that's fine. We need to stop looking up to these stupid celebrities, because Sexy Red has got nothing good to give to our children,
Right.
except pollute their minds with all kinds of rubbish about shake up and pop front and go through so much, man. And do as you please, and this is the madness of the heathen, man. This is the madness of the heathen. Man in dress. Corruption.